Susan Lazar-Hart here, your congruency coach for creatives, for seekers, for those who are looking for more in their life. And could that be you? Could you be in a place in your life where you've created a whole bunch of everything and you're stepping back and you're asking, what else is possible? Or it could be that you've been waiting for something to shift and change and you're at a point in your life and you're asking, is this it? Is this the changes that I've been asking for? It doesn't feel like it. That's what a seeker is. A seeker is someone who's broadening their horizons, who's asking for truly, truly what else is possible for me, for my life, for my living, that I actually haven't been willing to see. And I'd like to be creative in how I create my life. So Susan, how do I do that? Well, you've come to the right place. This week's Ask Susan has to do with a question from Julian. And Julian has said, Susan, you know what? I'm at this point in my life, just how we were talking about right now, right? I'm at this point in my life where I've raised my kids, I'm living alone, I'm looking at my life and I know there's lots more in front of me and I feel like I'm playing small. I feel like that, I'm holding myself back and I actually don't know how to get there, wherever there is. And maybe there's not even a there. I mean, there's that as well. So this question, thank you so much, Julian, because this question also came up in the Congruent Living Academy. And, is there, for all of you listening, is there anywhere that you feel like you're playing small, whether it's in your relationship, at work, anywhere with yourself, right? So if you're unsure if this is you, have a listen. And then let me know what pops for you. And if you're listening this later, #replay, come on into the Congruent Living Facebook for seekers and creatives. That's where all the action is. That's where you can come in with your questions, your comments, or if you want to just play it safe with nobody knowing what you're thinking, just hit replay right now on this email. And I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you for sure. So let's dive into more of what the question is of the moment. So nobody knows what I do or how I feel. This was one of her comments. Well, even if your spirit calls you to be bold and brave and spread your glorious wings, how often do you actually feel like you have to clip them to make other people feel comfortable? That's a way that we play small. We say, oh, I want others to shine. And we kind of get exhausted by pushing everybody else out of the nest. And then when it's our turn to fly, we're just like, oh, I'll deal with it later. Sound familiar? Yeah. And then later becomes later, becomes later, becomes later. And all of a sudden it's the end of your life and you're going, oh, I should have, I wish I could have. Well, no, not on my watch. That's what I'm here for. That's what Congruent Living Coaching is all about. You're afraid of what others might say. Well, if you fear rejection, judgment, or disappointing others, or losing out on like love or acceptance, is that really yours or is that somebody else? Did you pick up somebody else's belief system about what being seen is all about, right? How often do you buy into that as real and true? And I've heard so many people say, oh, I'm afraid to. But when you buy fear as real and true, you'll find that it probably defeats you. And that's exhausting too. Who wants to walk around feeling defeated? No, not me and not you. So let's go with tip number 1. I have 4 tips for you in this week's Ask Susan. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Fear is what prevents you from running from a building burning. That's a healthy fear. But the one that says you shouldn't try something or take a chance or give that presentation or write that song or introduce yourself to that person, that has nothing to do with you. That's an experience, that's a belief that somebody implanted in you at a very young age. You ever hear that expression, don't rock the boat? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, why would you bother? Why do you want to do that? No. That's not for you. You're a seeker, you're a creative. Feel the fear and ask a question. So if I choose this, what would this create? More or less for me? Go out 6 months, close your eyes. Get the energy, get the emotion of choosing what it is that you thought you were afraid of, right? Whatever that is, you're standing in front of a crowd of people, you've got your book to talk about, you're in a loving relationship, right? You're contributing your life, and somebody is contributing their life to play with you. Get the emotions. How does that feel for you? You're living a life that you love. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Get that sense of, oh, if I choose this, what could that create? Now bring that into the present. And as we dive into tip number 2, it just flows in naturally with is acknowledge you and what you're asking to create in your life and your living. Acknowledge you. Ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen if I do it anyway? Make a note of what comes up for you. Acknowledge what you have created up until now. Take an aerial view of how you create and what you're creating, and acknowledge each little part that's got you where you are now. That has you saying, yep, I'm the kind of person that did that. I'm the kind of person that chose that. So what else is possible for me? What else is possible? What other choices are here for me to play with? And then choose one and ask yourself, so what's the best thing that can happen here? See, we're so clouded by paralyzing ourselves with the idea that I'm afraid that we never stop to think about the positive outcomes when we face our fear. Fear, the acronym for fear, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. What's the best that can happen? Get that sense of that, acknowledge that. I'm the kind of person that's creating a life that I love, and everything is working out for me. Be that energy. Tip number 3, focus on your why. So there's a reason why you're choosing what you are choosing. Now, it could be that you put yourself in a box right now, and you're choosing it for a lot of the reasons we've been talking about earlier. You're afraid of what people will say. You need proof that it's going to work out before you try it. You created your life, your whole life for other people. You were taught, put everybody else in front of you. Whatever that is, that has nothing to do with you living in the now. Those are all belief systems. Those are other people's points of views that were embedded in you. The people that took care of you, the people that brought you up in school, whatever that is for you. Could have been a partner that you hooked up with and it was like, oh, this actually doesn't work for me. I've given up my life for this person. And now here you are with everything right in front of you. Choose it. Choose it. Focus on what you desire, not on what you don't desire. Because the universe is listening. You know, everything has energy. Everything we say is energy. What you focus on, you create. Where your attention goes, your energy grows. Thank you, Dr. Joe Dispenza, for that one. So I'm going to ask you this question. Think about what you're going to share and with yourself, not with others, with yourself as you grow, what you put your attention on, have that grow. How will you feel as you get closer to your target? What's that emotion? What does it touch it? Right? How does it feel in your body as you get closer to your target? And this will connect you to the life that you're asking to create. Now, tip number 4, start small. Oftentimes we go like, oh, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to create this. And then you get so overwhelmed, you don't actually create anything. Yeah, I've been there. I get it. So what I'm asking you to do is go into your future. You're choosing whatever this is. You're choosing whatever this is, and you're living it. And you get a sense of it in your body and your life, and you're living, and you're feeling those energies vibrate. Now, that's over here. I want you to chunk it down and ask yourself, okay, what's my first best step? What's the best step that I could take here? Now, it could be reaching out to a coach or mentor like myself and just throwing those ideas around and getting clear, really crystal clear on what it is you're asking to create and what your first best step is. It could be just writing it down in your journal. Write all your ideas down and then ask yourself, okay, what's my first step here? Could be just going for a walk with this idea and nurturing it and getting a really sense, is this for me? Am I choosing this for me or for someone else? That's a great step. So be in the question. When we ask questions, they open up windows and doors to possibilities. Start small. What is it I'm asking to create a year from now? And then get a sense of that and chunk it down. And now ask, what's my next best step? And as soon as you take that step, acknowledge it, congratulate yourself, appreciate it, because the universe glows with appreciation, and that appreciation just comes right back to you. So let me know how these tips work for you. Four easy peasy, change your patterns kind of behavior. So let's go through them again. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Acknowledge what you're asking to create. Focus on your why. Why is this important for you? For you, not for somebody else. Get the energy of that. Ask it to build. And then start small. But start. I love this quote from Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Right? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just some of us, it is in every one of us. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Now, if the word God makes you feel uncomfortable, what if the acronym for God was good, orderly direction? Change it with the universe, change it with infinite being, whatever works for you. But remember, you are an infinite being. You are the God source. The God source is not asking you to play it small. The God source is asking you to shine your light and share it. So remember, playing small doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for your loved ones, your relationships, or whatever you're asking to create in the world. Live your life to the fullest. Stop playing small, because the planet will thank you for it. Until we meet again, live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be, because the world needs more of you and that brilliance of you, not less. Have an amazing week, and I'll catch you next week. And if you have any questions, you want me to talk about anything, reply to this email. Come on to our Facebook, Congruent Living for Creators and Seekers, and pop them in there. I wonder what we can create together. You know what they say, when two or more are gathered, there's always more. And if you have a special question for me, just reach out, private message me. I'll get back to you, I promise. Until we meet again, have an amazing day. Bye-bye.